You're not 7, right? You're not a baby, right? He's like, nah, but I can't take the way they talking to me. I said, oh, you want them to treat you like the DoubleTree. You want to check in, they give you 2 warm cookies, they pat you on your butt, they tell you good job for doing what you said you was going to do. Like you want validation. And I asked him the question, I said, this isn't about your legacy? Like you're not working every single day feeling as if when you do something, if you're blessed to reproduce, one day when somebody go up to your seeds or your children, because of how you did it, they're like, man, that's your father, you good. Right? You don't want to do it in such a way that when somebody see you, they're like, man, if it has to be done, that is the way you do it. You're not doing it in such a way to when you do it, they're like, hey, you want to see how it's done? Let me turn on the tape so you can see this cat and see how he coming every single day. Not inconsistency. Right? Like I was one, I didn't care about talent. Right? I didn't care about skill set. Right? Because I understood talent and skill set might betray you along the journey if they don't have a consistency of mindset and they don't have a certain level of fortitude in every fiber of their being. At a certain point, you can have a cat that's talented or you can have a cat that has character and you know what he brings to the table every single day. Right? You got cats that's talented that tap out. Like anybody can go 1 or 2 downs. Right? Anybody can go 3 downs. But it's very seldom that you find a cat when he's standing in that tunnel till there's 4 zeros on that clock, he's going to give you everything. That's a man to me, right? Most cats, little boys, right? They get what they want. I tell my son all the time, I'm like, Ink, it's a big difference between a hard worker and somebody that works hard, right? Most cats are somebody that works hard. If the situation and the circumstance is what they want it to be, they're going to come out and they're going to act accordingly and they're going to give you everything they got. But a hard worker, regardless of situation, regardless of circumstance, regardless of what happened, I'm going to show up and I'm going to give everything I got to it because I'm working for something that's totally different, right? The question becomes this: can you be committed to the process of what you're doing without being emotionally attached to the results of what you're doing? Can you be committed to the process of what you're doing without being emotionally attached to the results of what you're doing? In other words, if you don't get what you thought you was going to get, will you still be the same individual? If the situation don't turn out the way you thought it would turn out, will you still be the same individual? The quote says it: you judge the character of a man not by where he stands in times of comfort and convenience. You judge the character of a man by where he stands in times of challenge and controversy. Like, I don't care what a cat do when everything goes right. I don't, because everybody knows to smile. Everybody gonna celebrate when you win a game. Everybody gonna be in your corner and talking about how great you are. But when the opposition happens, when it gets hot, right? When cats don't want it and don't want to be a part of it, when things start going south and a cat jumps on your head and you're like, man, it's not what I thought it was, right? The crazy thing about it is most cats remind me of one of my freshman roommates when we first got our Pell Grant check. Right, and I'll never forget, I got $2,500, and he got close to $4,000. And when I looked at him, I said, man, I ain't never had this much money before. He like, me neither. I said, man, I'm going to the bank. I'm about to open up me an account. I'm going to put this in the bank. My man says to me, Ink, I'm going to go to Foot Locker. I'm about to spend all this. I'm like, all right, cool, but come with me to the bank, man. You need to save a little bit of that. I said, you might not get that much again. He's like, that's the problem. I said, come with me to the bank. He come with me to the bank, open up an account. I put my money in the bank. He goes straight to the mall, exactly what he said he was going to do. We walk in Foot Locker, let me get those J's. He's splurging. Right, we get to the counter, lady starts ringing it up. He gives her the card, she swipes the card didn't go through. He looked at me, I said, don't look at me, big spender. You the man. He said, ma'am, I know I got the money, football office gave it to me. Can you swipe it again? She swiped it again, card didn't go through. He looked at me. I said, don't look at me, big money, tight grip. You the man. He said, ma'am, can you swipe it again? I know I got the money. She swiped it, didn't go through. She handed him the card back, and I'll never forget, she said to him, sir, you haven't even pulled a strip off the back to call to activate the card. She said, you got the money. She said, but you haven't even called to activate it. And when you look at some young cats, you're like, man, you could be great. But you haven't even pulled a strip off to activate it. Like, you can operate in a level of excellence in everything you do, but you haven't even pulled a strip off to activate it, right? You living on reserve, and most cats live on reserve. And what I mean by living on reserve, most cats do things in such a way to where when they get to a certain point, their heart is like a Cadillac converter in a car, right? You know what a catalytic converter is? It's when you're in a certain car and you try to push it to the limit, and when it gets to the limit, the car says, And every time you try to mash it, the car, because it hasn't been to that point before, and that's the heart of most cats. When they get to a certain point that they haven't been to before, they retreat. And it's not even about an opponent. It's not even about opposition. It's about, I've never been to that point before, and I don't know how I'm going to respond. They scared of themselves. It's not even about an opponent. You get some 18, 19, 20-year-old cats, they're scared of themselves. It's not about an opponent. They're standing in a tunnel in Neyland Stadium, getting ready to play in front of 100,000 fans, and they're questioning their integrity. Like the reason I can live with what happened to me on September 9, 2006, the last play, is personal to me. Right? Because I knew when I went out, I gave my teammates everything I had. Like, I could look you dead square. I'm a man, right? I don't lie. Right? I don't fear no man. Right? From Tennessee, California, a lot. You could drop me anywhere on any place. I don't fear no man. Right? That's how I was raised. That's how I'm coming. Right? When I went out, my last play, I knew I gave my teammates everything I had. Every ounce of my spirit. Right? That's why when coach came to see me in the hospital, I'm like, I'm good. I empty everything out of me. Now, if I didn't give him everything I had, it would have been a big ounce of regret. Because I would have lived my whole life with the thought of, man, what if I gave everything I had to it? Right? I just want one thing from y'all, man. Like, when I played, right, I didn't care if a cat ran a 4.3. I didn't care about that. I didn't care if a cat go up in the weight room and bench press 500 pounds. A cat can lift the world. I didn't care about that. I didn't care if a cat did the L drill faster than him. I didn't care about that. I wanted a cat beside me that I knew was going to scrap. I wanted a cat beside me that I knew when we looked across they knew, man, the cat can't see us, man. I wanted a cat beside me, no matter the outcome, we coming, we working, and we fighting until the game over. I wanted a cat beside me that had a certain level of consistency of mindset to understand how I do anything is how I do everything. And you meet most young cats, and they think it's a dual mentality, right? They think football is one mentality, life is one mentality. No, bro, it's you. It's your spirit. It's your essence. It's who you are. I never understood, to be honest with you, I never understood how a cat can tap out on a wind sprint. I never understood how a cat can quit on agility, like a cat in the facility and they getting smoothies. Cat got a barbershop. Like a cat getting his jock strap washed. And got the nerve to step on the field and not give everything they got to it. Like a cat getting gear. A cat got a stadium, a cat got a locker. Like, how can you not scrap? How can you not fight for what you believe in? Like, I feel like it's a level of honor and responsibility that comes with that, right? When you come to this place, it's a privilege, right? You got cats that came before you, and they cherish this, right? They cherish it. When I got here, we cherish this place, right? When I got here, we believe we can beat anybody in the country. And the work ethic and the discipline and the dedication and the commitment wasn't based upon or predicated upon situations or circumstances, right? I'm talking concrete commitment, right? Not that commitment, I'm going to show up, I'll be there, coach. Yeah, I'll go to meetings. Yeah, I'm going to go out. I might run hard 3 sprints. Not that, man. Not that cheap stuff, man. Not that counterfeit stuff. I'm talking concrete commitment. I'm talking a commitment that says I am going to stay true to what I said I would do long after the mood that I've set it in has left, right? Because when you're in them seats, it's easy to talk about what you're going to do, right? But Mike Tyson said it. Everybody got a plan until they get punched in the mouth. And some cats, when they get punched in the mouth, they never recover. Some cats, when they get hit in a way they never got hit before, they never recover. Some cats, when they get placed in situations and it challenges their character, they never recover. Some cats, when you ask more of them that's ever been asked of them before, they never recover. Right? Why can't we play football and operate in excellence? And why can't we go to the classroom and operate in excellence? Right? Like when he said I grabbed the cat, I grabbed him for one reason. Right? When I stepped in the cat's face, I wanted him to understand first and foremost, it's all love. I loved you. Right? I loved every one of my teammates. Right? But I understood at the core of what we were a part of, we had a purpose that was a lot greater than any one of us. Like the purpose and the thing that you're a part of is greater than any cat in here. I don't care how many stars you got. I don't care what high school you came from. I don't care what you the man. I don't care if you were All-American, Army All-American, McDonald's. I don't care about none of that. When you get here, you're a part of something that's a lot bigger than you. It's cats that came through here before you, and it's going to be cats that come through here after you. And so while you're blessed to be able to do it, how about we do it in a way that it's never been done before, and we raise the standard of it, right? The standard is the standard. We don't lower it, right? We don't say, oh, man, we Tennessee, but the standard is the standard. We compete, we fight, we scrap, we live to fight another day. We don't retreat against nobody, right? We scrap, we fight, we live to see another day. We come out and we work for something that's a lot greater than the game of football, right? My arm and my hand got paralyzed. My heart didn't. They saved my life Saturday. I was back in class Tuesday. I was back at practice with my teammates Wednesday. You could go to when you go to the training room, ask Jason McVay. They told me, Ink, we want to send you back to Atlanta. I said, nope, order me a Dunjoy sling and a Velcro strap. True story.